So just coming into a nice comfortable seat. You can be leaning back in the chair to start out. You can come forward on your sit bones if that feels good. Just peek down, knees over ankles alignment. If you do like to place a strap or a block between your thighs and then strap yourself in, you're welcome to do that if you have props available. But otherwise, just being here nice and easy works as well. And let's take a nice deep inhale through our noses. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, make some sound. Ha. And do that a few more times. So smooth, steady, deep inhale. Let the breath go. Ha. And then do that a time or two more. So just whatever feels good. And then we're going to eventually start to just find this smooth, steady inhale and exhale. Welcome, Tammy. Welcome, Kelly. So beginning to cultivate your Ujjayi breath, if that feels good to you today. So constricting the sides of your throat. So you hear that soft rush of air as you inhale and as you exhale. And if that isn't working for you today, of course, just inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose, letting it be nice and easy. And then you just might do a little scan of your body here. Start at your feet, work your way up. Notice any places of tension or gripping. See if you can soften in those spots. And so just landing in this nice quiet space. So setting the tone for our practice. Finding the steadiness of breath, the steadiness of attention. Sometimes that's a little trickier, but we use our breath as a tool to help bring the gaze inward, to help quiet and focus the mind. Maybe observe today if the inhale feels easier in your body, perhaps the exhale feels easier. So just noticing. Anytime your attention wanders, you come back to your breath. You might have to do that 1,000 times the next hour. That's okay. And then let's just do a little pranayama at the beginning of the class here. So we're going to inhale to the count of 6. We're going to pause for just 3 beats, and then we're going to exhale to the count of 6. And then again, pause at the bottom of the breath for just 3 beats. And I'll count that out for you for the first couple of rounds, and then we'll just do a few on our own. So first and foremost, let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Full, complete exhale. So you feel completely empty, just hold the breath out. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3. 2 complete rounds on your own. You can change the pace if you need to. Try to keep your body soft and easy in those pauses. Sometimes we start to constrict. And if this doesn't feel good, you're just simply breathing. That's always an option. Some days the pranayama works. Some days it feels a little challenging. And then when you've completed that second round, you're just returning to nice, easy, gentle breath. So no effort. You allow the breath to find its own natural rhythm. And then we're gonna blink our eyes open here. We're gonna set up for some cat-cow, and then we'll take that into little robin's breath. So making any adjustments that you need to here, just kind of regrouping in your seat. And then you can just have your hands resting on your thighs. So just notice how you feel here in this nice mountain pose. And then we're going to inhale, we're going to start to rock forward on our sit bones. We're going to let the chest pop forward through the gates of our shoulders. We're feeling this nice arch in our lumbar. And then as we exhale, we go in the opposite direction. So we rock to the backs of the sit bones. We let the neck lengthen. That's hard to do. Let it go. Inhaling, arching. Beautiful work. These look great. As you exhale, you're going to round in. Now you might close your eyes here if that feels good. You might just keep your eyes open, but the gaze soft and gentle, so you're not really focusing on anything. And you're beginning to move with your breath at your pace. So setting up this idea of vinyasa, that happens anytime we connect movement with breath in a specific way. Can be simple, can be a little more complex, like our sun salutes. But notice how it has this nice calming quality. So in some ways you can relate to this, Chris. It's a sun salute, or this cat-cow is kind of like stimming the body. For a lot of us, when we introduce this movement with the breath, it has this calming quality on the mind. We can kind of start to quiet down a little bit, and that's always such a welcome thing. We've got plenty to worry about these days, so it's really important that we take breaks from all of that. It's always going to be there. From time to time, we need to give ourselves permission to get away from all of that. All right, so let's do a couple more rounds here. And actually, let's keep moving like this. I'm going to give you the option to add in arms here if you want. So as you inhale and rock forward, you can stretch your right arm forward, and then exhale, release down as you come back. Inhale, extend left. And if you just want to stick with classic cat-cow here too, you're welcome to do this. Do that rather. If you are extending arm forward, really reach out. It's like you're reaching out to shake somebody's hand. Beautiful work. Let's make sure that we do one more to each side. And then we come back to our mountain pose. And then let's bring our palms together at our heart. So we're gonna go into our robin's breath here. So first, let's take a nice deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. Good, and then as you inhale, open your arms up, rock forward on your sit bones. And you're gonna feel a little more stretch in your shoulders like this. As you exhale, palms come together, neck releases down. Inhale, open up again. Beautiful work. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, stretch out wide. Yes, and then as you exhale, you round in, palms come together in front of you. Inhale, find that expansion again. Beautiful work. As you exhale, hands come together. You have 3 more rounds on your own. You can add here, you can subtract, you can get creative. So if you want to do something a little different, feel free to do so. And just listening to that sound of your breath. Kind of opening up the heart and chest, getting into the shoulders. We're trying to let the back of the neck really lengthen, especially when we come into that cat stretch. Good, and then when you're done with that 3rd round, you're just pausing with your palms together at your heart. Checking and noticing how you feel here. So we haven't been moving very long, but already you're probably starting to feel a greater sense of ease in your body. Maybe you're feeling a little more space. Maybe the head's feeling a little quieter. And you might not be there yet either. That's absolutely fine too. Just observing what's going on for you. And then let's do a little lateral side to side stretching. So you can just release your arms by your side. We're gonna do several rounds to each side and then we'll come into the hold. So let's start with our right arm coming up and over. Doesn't have to be very deep here, this first one. So inhaling up, beautiful work. As you exhale, you release down. Chris, up, 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 up. Chris, reach your hands up, 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 up. Yes, good job. You got it. And again, just finding this nice little rhythm here. And as we start to warm up the body, maybe you find that you can get a little more stretch through the sides of your waist. You might even start to play with looking up underneath that top arm as it reaches up overhead. So that's just going to stretch into the neck a little bit, which may or may not feel good. Obviously, if it doesn't feel good, you skip it. You might be able to add that later on. Let's do a couple more to each side. Nice work, everybody. Good. So the next time that right arm is coming up and over, you're leaning off to the left. Just pause there. Root more into that right sit bone, even if that's just an idea, kind of energetically press there. And it's absolutely all right if you need to take a break with that top arm. Begin to spin your left ribs up towards the ceiling a little more. Nice adjustments. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, release that right arm. And then inhale. Left arm comes up and over. So same thing, you're rooting down into that opposite sit bone. It gets a little light, and it's going to, that's normal. want to feel as balanced and even as possible, and then start to spin these right ribs up. Maybe looking up underneath the top arm if it's okay in your neck. Good. As you exhale, release that arm down. And then just take a couple breaths here in your mountain pose. You can have the hands on thighs or just arms releasing by your side, whatever feels best to you. If it feels good to close your eyes again, check in. You're welcome to do that. And then let's get into the neck here. So just start to drop your chin towards your chest. So if you tend to be really tight in the back of the neck, a lot of us are, especially starting out, hands on thighs is probably a good idea. Otherwise, you can release your arms by your side. And that's just you're gonna feel a little more stretch across the tops of your shoulders. And then let's just move a little faster than we usually do today. And then we'll take that slower stretch. But let's just go ahead and exhale. Keep chin tucked. Bring right ear towards right shoulder. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, go off to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Inhale to center. Good, exhaling left. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. And then let's hold here so you keep breathing that smooth, steady inhale through your nose. That exhale through your nose. You can energetically reach down through that left arm a little more. It might intensify the stretch that you're feeling on the left side of the neck. You might need to back out a little bit. You might need to have hand just resting on thigh. Okay, so nice deep inhale. Full exhale. And then inhale to center. And exhale, left ear comes towards left shoulder, holding here. I don't know about you all, but I'm feeling this today. So keep the breath moving. Maybe just visualize your exhale going to the spots that are tight. You might be reaching down through that right hand. You might be backing off a little bit. So choosing what's best for you on this side. Smooth, deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. And then inhale. Back to center. And then this time you're going to take your time. So you're going to probably take several breaths to start to make that right, or your way off to the right. So bringing right ear towards right shoulder. So as I started doing this, I noticed that my shoulders crept up around my ears because I kind of got to a spot that was pretty intense. So I'm going to just choose to hold there for a few breaths. So getting really curious about what's going on in your body here. And just also knowing that we carry so much tension in our neck and our shoulders. So it's really nice to pause like this, give them a little love. This is a good little thing to do every day. Finally, on this side, if you do feel open for a little more, maybe bring your right hand on top of your head, apply a little gentle pressure. If you go there and it doesn't feel good, you skip it. Maybe energetically reach through that left arm a little more. All right, so smooth, deep inhale. As you exhale, just release your hand. And then inhale. Roll back to center. And then several breaths, like more than several. Start to explore bringing your left ear towards your left shoulder, and just notice the sensation that starts to happen in the right side of the neck, those scalene muscles. Pause in those places where you're feeling a good stretch. Keep breathing. Maybe smile a little bit, even though it's like torture sometimes. And then if you would like to bring your left palm to the top of your head, just apply a little gentle pressure. This side might feel different, so skip it if you need to. Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, just release your left arm by your side, and then keeping chin tucked as you inhale. Come back to center, and let's just hang here. So dropping chin towards chest, and maybe instead of that, actually think of your chest expanding towards your chin. So you're filling up with air as you stretch and lengthen the back of the neck. And then just slowly roll on up. Great work. So I'd like to get into the arms a little more. I didn't mention it at the top of class, but for those of you that do have a strap and you want to use that, you're welcome to. If you don't have one, don't worry. You could always use a tie or a belt. If you're watching this on YouTube, kind of a long dish towel would work. Ooh, sorry, I just slammed the buckle into the hardwood floor. If you do have a strap and you want to play with that variation, you're just going to take your strap or whatever prop you're using and just place it over your right shoulder. So give everybody a second there to find that. All right, and then just check in with your seat again. Make any adjustments that you need to. If you're starting to feel a little fatigued, maybe lean back into the chair. If you're still feeling good and you want to work the core, you kind of forward on the chair, just feeling your shoulders land over your sit bones. All right, so to start out, let's just take our right arm off in front, and you can hook with your elbow, left elbow, you can hold with your hand. So getting this nice stretch across the tricep, you're just gently pressing in, and depending upon how you're built or what's going on, you might not be pressing in very far at all. That's okay, as long as you're feeling a stretch. See if you can get the shoulder blades to release down the back behind you. So the shoulders like to creep up here as we're doing this. Soften them down. Breath smooth and steady. So nice deep inhale through your nose. Full complete exhale through your nose. Couple more here. And let's do deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to release that side, and then we're going to just do the same thing to the left side before we come into anything deeper. So taking that left arm across, you might even be holding lower arm. So lots of different places you can be. This side might look a lot different. Keep releasing shoulder blades down. Keep sitting tall. So as you anchor into your sit bones, and even if you can't feel that, just that idea of those roots. How does it inform the sides of your waist? How does it inform your spine? Do you sit a little taller? Breath nice and even. Good deep inhale. Exhale, release, and then let's just wiggle the shoulders out so you can roll them back. And then roll them forward. Okay, roll them back again. And then as they roll back, just let the shoulder blades release down your spine. All right, so we're gonna stretch our right arm up. And then I want you to spin the eye of the elbow in towards your cheek, or you could think palm starts to wrap behind you. You can take your left hand and just use it to help get that inward rotation if that feels good. Bend your elbow. So a couple of options here. You might just take left hand and press down. So again, this is kind of getting into the tricep here. If you would like, and you have the flexibility in your shoulders, maybe you take that left hand out, down, and then bend the elbow. And this is where it can become really nice to have that strap. Most of us are pretty tight here, so it gives us something to hold on to. As you're doing that, or if you're doing that rather, so if you are in your cow face arms, your Gomukhasana arms, you continue to stretch this right elbow up towards the ceiling as you press this left shoulder head back. So the top arm is in internal rotation, the bottom arm is externally rotated. Nice work, these look great. And Amy, on this side too, you could even just do your left arm if you want to get that shoulder opening on the left side and skip the right arm, that would work. Couple more breaths, this is intense. All right, so often the best part of poses is coming out of them, especially this one. So I always kind of like to stretch my arms out. And then let's press the walls away. And you might get a nice little stretch for the inseam of the arm. And then you can make fists here, kind of make little circles. Roll in one direction. And then the other. Nice job. Release the arms down by your side. Let's just take a couple of breaths here. Close your eyes. Let's give the arms a little break before we move into the second side. As you're breathing here, check in with the shoulders, make sure that they're not tensing, so softening down. Good, and then blink your eyes open. You can move your strap to the other side if you haven't already, and you're taking that variation. And this is one of those poses side to side. It usually looks really different in our body, so just be ready for that. And here we go. So as we inhale, we stretch that left arm up. And we're going for internal rotation. So we're trying to spin the eye of the elbow to face behind us. You can use your hand and wrap in your opposite hand if that's helpful for you. Bend your left elbow. So reach your fingertips down. You might be holding on to strap. And then again, you just might pause here. So taking right palm on top of left elbow, this is basically the pose. If you want to go a little deeper, start to reach that right arm off to the side. Then you're going to bring the thumb side of the hand to face down. So we're externally rotating this time. Start to release down, bend the elbow, and then grab a piece of strap. So as I lengthen up through my left elbow, I'm trying to press my right shoulder head back. So arms are doing two different things. We're breathing, we're smiling, we're making sure that there's not tons of tension in our face and jaw. So if you're clenching your teeth, try not to. Smile instead. Couple more breaths. Can you feel those shoulders land over your sit bones? These look great. So our Gomukhasana arms, nice work, everyone. One more deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. The moment we've been waiting for, coming out of this. Inhale, release arms. Oh, stretch out. And then release your arms off to the side. And then just release them down. Great work. So let's see. You can just keep your strap where it's at for now. Ooh, sorry, I keep doing that. I keep dropping it today. All right, so let's come into our eagle arms. So same setup with our feet. Let's inhale, stretch our arms out wide. We're going to give ourselves a hug. We're going to take the right arm on top. So elbows might be stacking on top of each other. Wherever you're at, you start to lift your elbows up. Some of us might just stay here like this. A few of us might bring the backs of the hands together. A few of us might be able to reach around and press palms together. The same actions apply. Elbows lift, shoulder blades release down. And then if you want to think a little back bend here, especially in the thoracic, so kind of like our camel pose. I think we did that last week. Maybe start to lift the elbows up towards the ceiling a little more, and then it's like you're trying to press your fingertips back behind you. Maybe bring your gaze up, and it kind of moves into this nice place in the shoulders. Nice is relative, it's intense. As you inhale, if you took that back bend, come on out. Oh, let the arms release. Maybe just give them a little shake out. Good work. And then we're going to take that to the second side. So as you inhale, arms reach out and up. And then a nice little bear hug here. Left arm is going to come on top. So you might just stay like this, elbows lifting. Maybe you bring the backs of the hands together. Maybe you can reach around and press palms together. I'm going to stay in this variation on this side. And then anchor into your sit bones. Feel your lower belly pull in and up. Maybe see if you can lift your elbows a little higher. You might even start to release your gaze up, perhaps even back. Keep breathing. Oh, nice job, everyone. Good. As you inhale, slowly roll up if you took a little back bend. Release the arms out. Give them a little shake. Nice work. Okay, so let's use those arm variations in a couple of our warrior poses. So let's mix it up a little bit today. So we're going to come externally rotated first. We're going to find our Warrior II. And with our Warrior II, we are going to find, I'm sorry, I keep doing that. We are going to do our cow face arms. So our Gomukhasana arms. Let's see, let me think how I want to do this. So the strap is around your left shoulder. Let's just go ahead and keep it there. And if you're not using a strap, or if you don't have one, no big deal. I'm going to give you that other variation. Okay, so we're going to open up our right hip any amount. And then as always, we have options here. So you could just keep your left leg like this. Maybe you want to extend that leg forward. Perhaps if you feel comfortable and you're in a place where you have enough space, you can start to extend that left leg off to the side. If you're doing that, you're going to kind of roll to the inner edge of the foot. So we're not squaring our hips here. So this right hip is opening up, this left hip is releasing down, so we can feel that. All right, and then we kind of want to just make sure that our right knee is over our right ankle, so sometimes we need to go out a little further. And then we want to make sure that our torso is facing forward. So all of these little different actions happening in the body. All right, so from here we're going to inhale, stretch our arms up, so just coming into our classic Virabhadrasana, too nice, Jim. Keep your torso square, but just start to bring your gaze out over your right fingertips just for a breath or two. Notice if the shoulder blades start to creep up around the ears, soften them down. All right, so you have the option to stay here like this if this just feels really good and you've kind of done enough in your shoulders. If you want to play with the arm variation, bring your gaze back to center. Stretch your left arm up. Bend the elbow. And then right arm comes off to the side and then up. So holding the strap. As you're here, could you just pretend that there is a wall behind your right knee? So you're pressing that right knee back a little bit. And then maybe here, pretend that there's a string attached to your sternum. Somebody's gently pulling up. So perhaps you start to bring your gaze up towards the ceiling a little bit. Good. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, release arms back to Virabhadrasana 2. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, release arms by your side. Just pause here for a breath or two. And you're going to definitely feel some heat in the shoulders, especially as we do these more intense shoulder stretches. And anytime we're holding the arms, that's going to happen. That's a good thing. All right, so we're gonna make our way into the second side. So you can bring that left leg in if it was extended. So just coming back to that mountain pose. You can move the strap over to the other arm. Good. All right, so the big thing about this pose is getting the hip opening. So if you're just even doing this, this is what we're going for. This is the action in our Warrior II. Now, of course, if you feel comfortable, you might extend right leg forward. You might open up that leg. And if you're doing that, you are pressing to the inner edge of the foot. You're letting this right hip release down. Then notice how the torso wants to come along for the ride. Square it towards your Zoom screen instead. Good. And then here we go. Inhale, arms reach. So keep the torso just like this. Keep shoulder blades releasing down your back. Bring your gaze out over your left fingertips. Breath smooth and steady. You are welcome to stay in this pose, hold this pose, take breaks with your arms when you need to. If you're ready to come into your Gomukhasana arms variation, bring your gaze forward. Good, so right arm reaches up. Left arm externally rotates. So right elbow reaching, left elbow pressing back. And then feel your sternum perhaps start to lift up towards the ceiling. You might bring your gaze up. These look fantastic. Are you breathing? Are you smiling a little bit? Great work, everyone. Full, complete inhale. Nice, Amy. Full, complete exhale. Good. And then as you inhale, release your arms. Good. So Virabhadrasana 2. As you exhale, they release down by your side. Good. Just taking a breath or two here. And then we're going to make our way back to our mountain pose. Okay, so you can go ahead and lose the strap at this point. And we are going to do our Garudasana arms in, so our eagle pose arms in our crescent pose, or you could think of this as a Virabhadrasana 1, so Warrior 1. So our Warrior 2, where the leg was opened up, nice big hip opener. In our Virabhadrasana 1, our crescent pose, both hips are square, so they're facing forward. So we're going to start on our right side. All right, and then we are going to, you can just stay here like this, both knees bent, or if it feels okay, you can extend that left leg to straight. And then maybe kind of peek down. So you do want to make sure that your right ankle is underneath your right knee. So sometimes we get in a little tight. So this just makes the pose feel a little better. All right, so first we're gonna come into our crescent pose. As you inhale, take your arms out and up. So they're stretching up. You can have your palms facing towards each other. You can take your arms as wide as you need to. So a little wider is nice if it's hard to kind of straighten the elbows or if the shoulders are tighter. You might be able to go a little closer today. We've done a lot to open up the shoulders. So just a couple of breaths here like this. Pretend that I am there in your yoga space with you, gently pulling up on your wrists. As that's happening, you're getting more space through the sides of your waist. You could be bringing your gaze up. Good, and then we're gonna take our arms out wide and we're gonna give ourselves that hug again. So we're gonna take our left arm under. Elbows lift, backs of the hands press, maybe palms press. Wherever you're at, keep lifting elbows as shoulder blades release down your back. And then again, if you kind of want to find that camel pose in your upper body or cobra pose, so a little back bend in the thoracic, maybe start to bring your gaze up, lean your head back. Beautiful. Oh, gorgeous work, everyone. Nice, Kelly. Nice, Amy. And then as you exhale, start to come back to center. Release the arms out. And then by your side. Okay, so we're here, we're set up for it. Let's go ahead and do it. So our full eagle pose. So if your left leg is extended, you can bring it in, and then we're just gonna cross left thigh over right thigh. And we're gonna just be here brief because I know we've done a lot of this. All right, so wherever you're at, you can really feel the outer hips start to squeeze in. Maybe you can feel the inner thighs squeeze a little bit if that's accessible in your body. And if not, you're just visualizing what that is like. You're rooting into your sit bones. You're lengthening through the sides of your waist. Here we go. Arms reach out. Left arm under. So giving a hug. Backs of the hands press, maybe palms press. And then finally here, if you'd like to start to hinge forward, maybe hooking that left elbow to that left knee. Breath smooth and steady. So our little crouching eagle pose, Garudasana. Let's inhale, come on up. Release the arms any way that feels good. Shake, wiggle, do whatever you need to. You might just want to release them right by your side. Beautiful work. And we're going to take that to the second side. So uncross left thigh. Keeping left knee bent, maybe keeping both knees bent. If you want to extend your right leg to straight, you're welcome to do so. So both hips are facing forward. All right. Good, let's inhale. Stretch our arms up. Take a couple of breaths here. Arms can be wide. Some of us might be pressing palms together. You can bring your gaze up. So just shine your heart to the heavens. It's this lovely, lovely back bend. These look great. As we exhale, arms come off to the side. Good, and this time a right arm comes under. So hugging, backs of the hands press. Palms press, they're all great variations. You're lifting a little bit, maybe finding that back bend. Good, deep inhale. Exhale. Unwind. Good. All right, so let's come into our full Garudasana. And if you're cooked, you can just be seated, just close your eyes, take a few breaths. Otherwise, you're going to cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Outer hips are squeezing in, inner thighs are squeezing in. So there is this idea in this pose of everything kind of coming into the midline, into the center. We can kind of feel that. We're getting really compact. All right, so take your arms out. Right arm under. Give yourself a hug here. Lift elbows. Maybe the backs of the hands are pressing. Maybe the palms are pressing. This is a really great place to stay. If you want to start to hinge forward, fold in a little bit. So coming into that crouching eagle, you are welcome to do so. It just might shift where you feel the stretch. Perhaps you are hooking that right elbow to right knee. Gaze slightly forward. Breath smooth and steady. Good. And then inhale. Come on up. Let it go. Beautiful work. So uncross that right leg. So just come to a comfortable seat here. And then close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. And then just find a nice steady breath. So we've worked a lot on our Viloma I breath. So that's our breath where we are inhaling and holding in 2 or 3 parts. So today let's do our Viloma II, in which we hold the breath on the exhale. So I've been playing with this a little bit, and I actually find it to be very challenging for some reason. So as we come into this, as we're in those holds on the exhale, same as with any of this pranayama, if it isn't working for you, anytime you need to take a breath, you just go ahead and take one. So we don't want to create lots of tension in our bodies. And some days this just isn't working. When we're trying new things, it can be a little intimidating and confronting. So just know that going in. But let's go ahead and start. Let's just keep it pretty simple. So for this Viloma II, starting out, we're going to take a nice deep inhale through the nose, full complete exhale through the nose. Then we're going to inhale all the way up. We're going to have a slight pause at the top of the breath. And then we're going to exhale half of the breath out. We're going to pause there. Then we're going to exhale the rest of the breath out. Pause there, and then we'll take a couple of recovery breaths, and then we'll do a couple rounds of that, and then maybe we'll play with adding the 3-part breath on the exhale. All right, so here we go. You can always use your Ujjayi breath in conjunction with this Viloma I if you want, and if that doesn't work for you, you can just do nice, steady, deep inhale. All right, so nice deep inhale. Full complete exhale. Inhale through your nose. Pause here. Try not to let any tension creep into your shoulders, so keep it easy. Exhale half the breath out. Pause. Exhale the rest of the breath out. Pause. And then just take a couple rounds of normal breathing. Nice deep inhale through your nose. Slight pause at the top. So feel this fullness, this expansion of your heart and chest, maybe this lift of your sternum. Can you hold on to a little of that as you exhale half the breath out? Pausing there, try not to clench, try not to grip. Breathe if you need to. Exhale the air out through your nose. And then a couple rounds of recovery breath. So nice and easy. Deep inhale through your nose. Pausing at the top. So feeling this lift, this lightness, this buoyancy, this fullness. Exhale through your nose, half of the breath out, pause. Exhale the rest of the breath out. Pause there a moment. And then take a couple rounds of recovery breath. So smooth, steady, inhale and exhale a couple of times. Good, nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause at the top, feel that lift, that lightness, that expansion. And we're going to do exhale in 3 parts this time. So exhale through your nose, 1/3 of the way out, pause. Exhale another 1/3 of the way, pause the breath. Exhale the remaining breath out, just slight pause there at the bottom. And as you're ready, you just return to normal breathing. And then we're moving towards our final resting pose, Shavasana. So you're welcome to just stay seated like this in quiet meditation. If there's something else that you would like to do that feels good, you're always welcome to do kind of a supported child's pose, so resting on a chair or a desk in front of you. If it is easy for you to get to the floor and come into more classic Shavasana, that's always an option as well. And just finding a place where you can soak up these final moments of our practice and be quiet. And maybe just thinking, I think that I had mentioned this last week, so I'm not so big into resolutions per se. I think it's always really nice to kind of be assessing where we're at throughout the year. But I always do. I mean, there is definitely something about the end of a year. It makes us kind of assess what we've been doing, what happened, what worked, what didn't. So I do always kind of like to come up with maybe you could think of it as a theme or a motivation for the year ahead. So sometimes for me, this lands as a sentence. Sometimes it lands as a word. But if this is something that kind of sparks your curiosity and you're kind of interested in doing, is you're resting here in your Shavasana, maybe just give a little thought, plant these seeds, kind of just see what pops into your mind. And if you're like, what are you talking about? Let me actually give you a tangible example. So what really resonates with me moving ahead into the next year? 3 words popped into my mind. So stability, sustainability, and structure. And for me, that can apply to a lot of different areas in my life. So again, if this resonates with you, maybe mull it over a little bit, let it percolate. And if it doesn't, you're just simply resting here and soaking up all of the hard work you've done. So if you'd like to end with an Om here, you can bring your palms together at your heart. Take a nice deep inhale. Good, and then just bring a little movement back to your body. So wiggle, stretch, anything that feels good. And then placing your palms in a pile on top of your heart. Sending yourself love and gratitude, sending your body love and gratitude. It's a gift to be able to work and move like this in this beautiful community. Just promise yourself that you're going to carry some of this feeling with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week, month, year ahead. We got it all ahead of us. Just gently bow your head with a smile. Terrific work today, yogis. Thank you. Namaste.